Welcome back to Sarita's garden. We have a pineapple that's mostly yellow. We've been watching it for the last week or so, and you can see how that a lot of it is yellow, not sort of this back side. It's still got a little bit of green, but we're getting, I'll speak for myself, a little nervous. We don't want any animals getting to it before we do, so we're gonna pick it, and got our helper here to come in and pick. So we think, as we recall, we twist it and turn it till it comes out, and definitely want to use gloves and careful of the spines or the branches, because those can poke you in the eyeball and or cut your skin. So this is a plant that was already here before we got here, and so they had planted it. We think it's probably one of the grocery store varieties. Look at that. But a pretty good sized pineapple. So we're gonna take it up to the porch and I'll show you what we're gonna do next. Okay, so I wanted to add here that we're gonna leave this plant because you can see under here it's making another sucker. It's really hard to tell, but it's this part right here, and you can see that center, and then there's a second one back over here. Oh, you can see that a little bit better, right? So that's propagation material, so we're gonna let those, I forget if we're supposed to remove these and then plant them or let them grow here. I think you can let them just grow here on the same plant, but that middle stalk will never make one again, kind of like bananas, and you sort of have all these pups around. There are a bunch of ants on it, so we're just washing it off a little bit before we bring it into the lanai. Okay, so we brought it inside to the lanai, and I can't remember how I did this last year, but we heard that if you turn it upside down, it helps the sugars drain from the bottom kind of towards the top, since they ripen from the bottom up, and we took it off before it was fully ripe. So I'll let you know how this looks tomorrow or the next day, and we'll keep you posted on this big, beautiful pineapple. So here we have the pineapple. We're going to cut it open tonight, and you can see how the spots that were previously pretty green there have mostly turned to yellow, and the rest around it is super nice and golden, beautiful. So we will take the top off by just turning it and kind of like unscrewing it. That way we'll save that to propagate, and then we'll cut it up and I'll show you what that looks like. All right, so I used a kitchen rag here to grab onto the top and just unscrewed it like you're opening a jar, and that pops off. And then what I think I remember is that you pull off several of these, like maybe the lower inch or two of the leaves, and then you let it dry, and then you plant it in some soil. I'm pretty sure you do remember removing leaves up maybe a couple inches. So that'll be for propagation material. And then here are our sliced rounds of pineapple. And then what we did this time, which we've never done before, is we saved all the skins in a Ziploc, and we'll put that into the freezer. And we were instructed to then put that in a pot of boiling water. I don't remember how long to cook it. I think you maybe simmer it for an hour. And then that apparently releases a lot of the bromelain enzyme out. I guess that's mostly abundant in the skin. So then you cook it, and then you like strain out the big pieces of the skin. And then I think you can add a sweetener and drink it like a tea or a refreshing drink. I think you chill it. So anyway, we'll see if we get to doing that process. But anyway, we're gonna save the skins in the freezer for that. All right, so we just cut it up, and we just had our first tastes, and this is the bowl, the container that we have. How's it taste, Brad? It's pretty amazing. Super sweet, delicious, sweet all throughout, nothing like a homegrown pineapple. Thanks for watching Sarita's Garden. See you next time. And this is the last part. You can see all these pieces. It's kind of almost like peeling off a artichoke heart. And so it exposed a lot more of this area here. So I'm gonna let this dry outside on the lanai, and then I'll plant it in a pot of soil, and then that'll be it. I think then in 2 years that'll be a pineapple. So that's how we're gonna propagate the top from this one.